All right, a very beautiful morning to you. Thank you so much for staying with us right here on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. Thank God it's Friday. So happy Friday to you. And, hopefully you have a great weekend and the weekend will weekend for you. you. All right, so it's about 29 minutes to 7, and today is the 24th day in the month of October 2025. How is it looking like for you? How are you perceiving the end of the month? Anyway, you perceive it's good because plenty of people will collect salary. And all things being equal, you collect the salary, you go see enter markets, buy food stuff, buy this one. Before you know it, you'll come to ask yourself, is this what I'm working for? But hey, don't worry, don't worry. We're all coming here to talk about Nigerian issues, and hopefully, they will all get better. All right, this is the newspaper review right here on the Full Breakfast Show on Women Radio WFM 91.7. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. All right, so hopefully Fumi gets to join us pretty much soon. I'm positive about that. She's just having a little bit of connectivity issues, but she'll definitely get to join us pretty much soon. All right, you're welcome once again. This is where we get to go through the headlines. We get to go through, see what the papers are reporting. And of course, we get to also discuss one or two headlines or issues with our analysts for today. So I'm excited to let you know that our analyst Aditone is back with us. So yes, Aditone, good morning. We're glad to have you join us on Women Radio this morning.
Good morning, Rose. It's good to be back
Oh
after
yes.
a long while.
Yes, it's good to be back. And you can definitely join us on YouTube. Please do want to join us on YouTube, and let's get to have these conversations together. We're live on YouTube at WFM 917. Please do want to join the conversations there, share the links so that we'll have others who would also join us. Okay. All right. So let's head on straight to see what the headlines are saying this morning. Let's quickly go through some of the headlines this morning. So, let's look at Punch. Today being Friday, the 24th of October, these are some of the headlines that the papers are reporting this morning. Tinubu to Amopitan, make 2027 polls transparent and violence-free. All right, this is quite important. So let's see how this, turns out. Another one on the Punch says, reps move to limit president control over EFCC chair. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that, but let's see. The Guardian says defections, marking day APC senator decry lack of political ideology in Nigeria. Lack of political ideology. Do you think the same line with marking day? Adeton, because when you look at some of the political parties we have, do they even have strong ideologies that guide them, or they're just doing their own and just turning on their own? Because if you have strong ideologies that guide you, that guide your party, I think will be much more grounded, in the party. What do you think, Adeton? Because I mean, it could just be, we could just be seeing the truth here, here, political ideology.
Well, it's actually been like that for numbers of years, as long as I can remember, shift into democratic governance. And so it's not something that we are just hearing of, or it's not something that we are just perceiving that is happening in our politics. It has always been like that. You look at, the ideology of some political parties, and you are wondering who are actually the people that make up this political party. And in that room, where they have the round table, what are some of the issues that came up? What are those things that they're actually sweeping under the carpet, especially when it comes to women? I always say that in as much as we are asking for participation of women in governance, in leadership, especially at the angle of political participation. There's a lot that women can bring on board. There's a lot that comes, with women on the table of those political decisions that are being made on the way forward for this country. And if we want to move from where we are right now, it's time for political parties to begin to have ideologies that focus and that also benefit women, not just the male agenda. And it goes into so many, levels. There are so many issues, as we'll be looking at some of these things as we go on with the headlines.
All right, thank you so much, Adito. Fumi J, good morning. How are you? How is the Friday doing you? You're muted. Let's not start the Friday like this. You are muted, we can't hear you. Let's not start it like this. Let's not start this Friday like this with you being mute.
I was on here, was with 7:07, I think. And then boom, I got kicked out, trying to now connect. I say, what's with this? Thank you so much. That's why I didn't message you. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Hi, Adito. Lovely to meet you this morning.
Good morning, Fumi. Yes, I forgot to introduce you to the Friday gang. Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. Oh, yes. And we're literally we're not in the last week of October, but while this is the second to the last Friday of October. Yeah. So we're entering salary week, so I'm sure that a lot of people are happy.
I know.
Are they happy or they already saying, I mean, salary don't finish before it come?
Hey, that's another angle.
All right, so let's get back to it. We just looked at from the Guardian defection smacking day. APC senator decry lack of political ideology in Nigeria. There's definitely element of truth in that. And then another one, Tinubu demands credible elections as Amoputan faces Anambra hurdle. All right, that's the Guardian. For me, let's head on to this day.
This day newspaper, we have Swiss government says Nigerian women are still facing significant barriers to leadership and guidance. This one, yes, I absolutely agree with it, is why we have been pushing for the special reserved seats for women, in the House. And we're hoping that we see something positive, not just positive, we see like it will be a milestone for, women that are coming even after, because we know that when women are in government, they achieve, they do things, and people can come and say, some women are like this, but I will counter you by saying men too are like that. If you say a woman is rude, a man too is rude. If you say a woman is aggressive, a man too is aggressive. If you say, she doesn't know, I think they now come from the angle of maybe if you're a Christian, they say, women are supposed to be helpmates. Please, what are we doing? Okay, you say we're helpmates. I will come from that angle. Let me help you. How about that? So no matter the angle you come from, can't play. So we need to I think the rhetoric we need to start changing is that women can be overly emotional. Please, have you seen men when they're at the football match?
Let them watch it from home and see.
Because I know how my husband
talk about that one.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, so let's stop, this whole thing of women are emotional, men are logical. Really? A woman that can do 5 things at the same time is what you're saying is emotional. But a man, okay, let's keep on going.
Let's move on for me. All right. Still on this thing.
And I've already preached a small sermon. Okay, federal government urged to make public sector boards transparent and accountable to build citizens' trust. I've been seeing this a lot, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm hearing this now that elections are around the corner, but we know what people are doing, but it's okay, carry on.
And I mean, should we even be urging the federal government to make it transparent? This is something that we should actually be saying every day, and we should be saying yes, the federal government is transparent, and not for us to be urging you to make things transparent, especially when it comes to the public sector. Anyway, heading on to Daily Trust, bandits attacking us, Kano community raises alarm. Insecurity. All right, heading on to another one. Police, why we arrested elite protester, Showore. All right, that's it coming from the Daily Trust.
In the Vanguard newspaper, we have Jonathan under pressure to drop 2027 presidential ambition, says PDP. I didn't even know that he was back in the. I know we had talked about it early, maybe 2 months ago, but I didn't know it was something he was taking seriously.
Seriously, yeah. Well, we'll get to see that in the coming days.
Okay,
We'll get to see how serious it is, yeah.
Okay, 2025 Climate Summit, 1,200 global delegates set for Lagos as state targets coastal resilience, flood control. I'm particularly looking forward to seeing what this is, because every time next year is going to start the rainy season, so we want to see what will come out of it.
My dear. All right, heading on to Premium Times. Lassa fever, death toll raises to 172 as Ondo State records highest cases. The last one on Premium Times says court refuses to hear Kanu's objection, orders him to open or waive defense Friday. That's it from Premium Times.
In the cable newspaper, we had EFCC 100 billion. I'm sorry for laughing, but I'm sure Rose, you understand why I'm laughing. 100 billion naira recovered from corruption cases invested in student loans credit schemes. You see, when we talked about this, when Tone had come in, remember that she had said, "Oh, the money goes to NEL fund and
yeah."
But look at that now.
Like, this is sad. Student loan is supposed to make the burden of going to school lighter for students, for parents, for guardians. So how come we are finding corruption inside this kind of matter? I mean, now let's even be sensible about this. 100 billion naira recovered from corruption cases invested in student loan and credit.
That's why when Tom said, was it Wednesday? I was like, this country that we're in, okay, let's all be looking. Baseless and misleading. PDP BOT dismisses Anyanwu's convention letter forgery claim. So this has been going on for a while. You know, it was said that he sent a letter to INEC, and he's now claiming that, you know, it wasn't his signature on it, that it was forged. So this has been going on for quite a while. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
All right, on Daily Post, why APC struggling to contain Peter Obi's growing political influence, says Sam Amadi. And another one says, Nnamdi Kanu caught someone's Wike Morote, T.Y. Denjuman, Uzodinma, and others as witnesses.
Okay. In the pen-pushing newspaper, this one's a sad one. Truck crushes many to death in Ondo State.
This is quite sad. It has actually been in the news for some of the wrong reasons, you know, of friends. I just hope, you know, all of this is cleared, you know, so that we don't have more lives lost, and the state of insecurity, you know, is actually looked into, and a lot of things too in on those states.
Yeah. And even this truck matter, I mean, just very recently, the sister of the Big Brother winner, Ruth Otaboya, she had passed, you know, after, you know, she was crushed by Dangote. See, when I'm on the road and I see a truck, I used to go the opposite direction because that's not when you say, oh, it was a mistake that we swear. That's control.
Something happened.
Because at the end of the day, we have a lot of Nigerians who have lost their lives to this, and nobody is really doing anything about it. The reason why there was so much of a backlash and an uproar during that season, because the sister, she's quite loud on social media, so she was using her platform to say, "Una don't do something to my family," and that kind of thing. So yeah, hopefully the government finally does, because by the time they said trucks should not be on the road during the day, if you see them during the day.
All right, lastly on Tribune, the sexual harassment allegation by police widows. Now this is sad.
Yes.
Federal government begins vocational skills training of 960,000 youth nationwide. So when they say vocational training of this amount of people, anyway, so many questions, but that's not, our time is fast spent already. All right, so this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and these are some of the headlines from the different dailies this morning. Feel free to check them up and, of course, get to have a full read on any of them this morning. In the meantime, we'll definitely head on to talk about some headlines that we have picked to discuss with our analyst this morning. It's about 7:45 right here on Women Radio. Please feel free to send in your messages or your reactions to 07031756537. I got that right. Okay. Or 08155917917. Our phone lines will be open shortly. This is the newspaper review on Women Radio WFM 91.7. My name is Rose. I have Fumi with me, and of course, Adito is here with us this morning. So, Fumi, it was the honors of starting with a headline with Adito.
Right. When I saw this headline, I went into shock. So I went to do some research to see if this was a new occurrence. It is not. What we're talking about, it is not. So the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, this headline is the sexual harassment allegation by police widows. Basically, what has been happening is that the wives of retired officers and some of them who have passed, they initially lamented the poor welfare conditions that has been the lot of their families. But interestingly, there was a disturbing allegation articulated by a protester who said, before they even call us to come, who is the they? Members of the police pensions board, to come and collect our husbands' gratuities, they will demand to sleep with us or our children. First of all, and women video, this is something that gets our blood boiling, because what do you mean? Like something that is due to me, something that is due to my family. And she said, the protester said, you can imagine such wickedness. Why are the police authorities so indifferent? Enough is enough. They should please answer us. So, according to protesters, during the husband's years of active service, they were not provided with basic protective gear like bulletproof vest, things that would basically, protect them. So, of course, it made them vulnerable during combat operations. They were caught in the line of fire, and then they passed. Okay, thank you for your service. However, these women are now coming to say we want their gratuities, we want their pension. Remember, Rose, that this week we've been talking about how some states are
starting to pay pensions,
of like 2016, 2017, right? But then to hear that these women are being demanded to be slept with, either them or their children, I don't get. I was really, really, really appalled. This happened, this happens every now and again. So the headlines the articles I'd seen were from this year, last year. So it's a normal occurrence for the people in the authority. You are demanding sex from them before payment of their breadwinner's entitlement. If it's not wickedness, I don't know what it is again. And when we talk about how women are relegated, women are marginalized, some men will come up and say, no. But look at, because if every woman comes out to talk about the things that she goes through, or in the hands of men in authority, men in power, we're not gonna come up for here. So this is just something, it's really sad, it's heartbreaking, it's devastating. Adito, please, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Fumi and Rose. I think the first thing would be to look at what has actually been happening before now. And from what I read in the different stories on this, what I actually observe is that there's been a lot of abandonment issues. So it's not just about the fact that they want to or they are requesting to have sex with the women or their children. The fact is that most of these widows are actually saying that the families of the deceased police officers were actually abandoned. They've been abandoned for a very long time. I'll take that because I feel that for those that have served this nation, they put in their all. They've made sacrifices within their power to serve this nation. They shouldn't be denied of what actually is rightfully theirs. And for their children, it is expected, just like in any other agency of government or organizations, that there are some or there should have been preparations or planned for welfare packages for those whose loved ones have been taken away in the course of duty or in the line of duty. And it also shows responsibility from the government that these people are not just animals. They are accounted for and they have given their life, to serve this country. You mentioned about pensioners that are being paid, and that's one of the things that we continue to talk about when it even comes to those that are not even in the force. We ask questions when their pensions are being embezzled. Why? For people that serve this nation diligently at their very best, while they were still strong and youthful. And in the line of duty, their lives are lost. And what else do you expect from the government that they are serving, or the people of this country, is for the government to actually show empathy. And, there should be this enthusiasm to want to help out. But now it's actually showing that they are actually taking advantage of them, which is absolutely wrong. And we are not actually creating room for others who want to join the force. And when I actually look at this story, I just felt bad, because if you look at it now, we are talking about members of the police pension board. So you also mentioned it. Those in the top are taking advantage of these people. And for the sake of sanity, for the sake of the dignity of the Nigerian police force, I feel that there should actually be an investigation. They should follow it up and, ask questions. Those that are perpetrating these acts should be brought to book. I know in one or two of the reports I saw where it was being said, aside the investigation, let there be a public hearing. Maybe something like what we had during the NSAS panel sessions. Let's see what these people are actually going through, especially the widows. They have a lot of responsibility. And it's so funny, maybe now we are talking about women empowerment and more of it is being heard. Most of the officers' wives, most of them don't have what they're doing. Yeah. Some of them are petty traders. Yeah. So how do you empower them if you actually abandon them and their children? The education of their children is there. What are the welfare packages for most of these officers? We've talked about those that once it happens like that, there's nothing to fall back on. And so these are some of the lapses we are seeing from the Nigerian police force itself. We are seeing lapses even from the government of Nigeria. We are seeing lapses from the police pensions board, which according to one or two of the reports indicating that, these are even fraudulent boards set up for whatever reasons. They even mentioned the contributory pension scheme, which is also labeled as fraudulent scheme. I think there's need for proper investigation into it. Yes, there are allegations, but we believe that once there's thorough investigation, we can have a bit here and there to know what's next and then what is actually going on. Because these widows and even the retired police officers, they really need urgent help.
Absolutely. And, just a few months ago, was it weeks or months ago, the retired police officers, some of them had gone to Abuja to protest that they were something about their pension scheme. They wanted to be removed from it because they were not getting the dividends from it. So it's like you're fighting so many battles. And I remember you in particular, you had said, Rose, that why can't they just give them their money? Why are we having, I think you had complained about the back-to-back protests that we've been having. And it's just so sad because we see our politicians enjoying life, quote and unquote, and the people who are putting in the work are not getting, paid, rewarded for that. So we're not even saying dash them money. It's a case of you want to get your due diligence. You have worked for this money, get it. That's even on one hand. Then for the women, right, this, demanding for sex for maybe positions or a job is not a new phenomenon. And just like we have seen that the National Assembly has said, okay, if you sleep with a minor, you're going to be, prosecuted for life or jailed for life. I think that this should happen as well, because if women come out to say, look, this is what is going on. First of all, there's also I want to even commend these women, because I know for sure that when a woman comes out to say, somebody is demanding for sex from me, most times they blame her. before
Mm.
they even listen to her. So it takes immense boldness to even say, Egbamio, they want to sleep with me, they want to give me my money, right? Then there's even this matter. I'm just at a loss for words.
For me, sometimes it baffles me how we have lots of bottlenecks when it comes to receiving your own, what is due to you
Yeah.
at the end of. Now, if we even want to move from, these are people who have served for years, they've given their lives, giving up their safety to protect, we Nigerians and even the government self. And then at the end of the day, even while they are still alive, give them what is due to them. It's a problem.
It's a problem.
A lot of paper filling, a lot of doing this, doing that. It's to pass through this process, it's to do this. And then even if they become successful, after a few months, after 1 year, they will tell you, oh, come and do another verification. Come and do another this, come and do another that. And then is one issue to the other. That's even for police people that are even still alive, let alone those that have lost their lives, and their families are not even able to access, some of their retirement benefits,
Yeah.
or even the death benefits that comes with it. Now, let's even look at you, ordinary you now, just you finish work. In fact, not even say you finish work, make you even say you keep money somewhere. You want to even access that money with federal government. It's war. Is war. There was one time that we started talking about, oh, I think was it our accountant that brought one form of housing, kiniko, and he came a federal mortgage, stuff. And I was not asking. I said, okay, if I give you, if I give you the permission to actually do this, probably take away very little percentage from the salary, or mortgaging it, keeping it, all of that, and then after some time I can go back, lend money from them and build a house and keep paying, and then I tell him that, okay, let's say I'm not interested in building a house now or getting a place on my own, and then I keep remitting my small funds there. The day I'll not go back to them and say, I want so thing, or I want to loan so thing. What are the processes of them? Because that kind of thing, when you want to give them, it's not a problem. But when you now get up and say, I want to collect this thing, or I want to use this thing from them, it will now become, fill this form, go here, do this one, do that one, go XYZ, go to Sokoto, come back to Abuja. After Abuja, go to Lagos. After Lagos, go back to Kano. From Kano, So I don't understand why we always have bottlenecks and why it is so hard for people to be able to access, what is due them. I don't know how we can probably get away from all of this. And it's just because we don't have systems in place, good systems in place.
Yeah.
We don't stick to one thing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a central, let's say, processing information kind of body also.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
if I have need, why am I having a different number when it comes to maybe voter's card? Why am I having a different number when it comes to driver's license? Why am I having a different number when it comes to national what they call national ID card, or no, passports? Why am I having different numbers? Meanwhile, I could just use that same number that anywhere you punch it, all my information will come out.
Yeah.
Have we not read out since 2025 that this women now should be able to have an information or a certain kind of code that when you take it, the police are able to verify that yes, your husband died in 2026 or no, 2025 or 2024, and you have not yet received it. So fill this form, and then we'll sort it out. And within the next 2 days, you should be able to access your money or access your husband's money. But instead, there are a lot of bottlenecks here and there, and then these women go to, and then you want to take advantage of these women. Meanwhile, you've forgotten that even yourself, death can knock on your door, your children and your wife, uncle, we didn't face the same thing that you are doing to other people.
It's so interesting that you mentioned data, because at the Africa's conference I went to on Tuesday, that was something that was said. One of the speakers had said, if we had a number, so if my number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if they type that number in any system, any government parastatal, it should come up as my name.
Yes,
that's what it should come up as. And those are one of the things. I think that these things are intentionally done just so that, because by the time you try to fight to get it, you give up. And somebody is spending that money. Somebody for sure. Adito, please, let's hear your thoughts.
Well, I wanted to tell Rose that we are in Nigeria, not in America or any other, country of the world, where you have your social security number, and once you put in that number or you commit a crime somewhere in the US, it brings out everything. And I've also said it that we don't really have a database in Nigeria. Most of the statistics that you even see or the survey are carried out by independent agencies or international organizations. They take their time to bring out these statistics. We don't really have a database. If not, I thought the reason why we had the NIM was for us to be able to, link at least as many things as possible together when you are doing the processing, so that it just shows that you are the same person, know. But even if you look at it, the cybercrime in Nigeria is still very high. And so there is also need to look at the technology part of it. We are not yet advanced in that you have everything, figured out correctly. We still have those that are still, even with your ATM in your hand, somebody is hacking you, somebody is taking money from your accounts, So if you look at it, we are still evolving, we are still growing. I just hope that we will get to where we are supposed to get to, like other countries, before we miss out on a lot of things. And, you also said something about the pension and all that, and the people involved. Some of them even die, even as a result of waiting for their pension, going back and forth to do one process or the other. Even those that they have filled as their next of kin are not well attended to. I think when it comes to pensioners, the government should begin to put a strategy in place. And funny enough, they might have had several strategies, but maintaining that, being stable, being consistent with such is another issue with the government.
All right. Thank you so much, Adeto. Before we go to the next headline, the phone lines are now open: 07000 917 917 or 9155 917 917 is the numbers to call. But let's take these messages. This one is addressed to you from Prince, Madam Adeto. Political ideology is not about a party having space or seats for the women photo. I beg. The judiciary should continue to aid the illegitimate politicians to use MNK as a political mathematics and election bait on the Igbos. The injustice done to one man today might be your pill of tears tomorrow. One day, just one day is coming. I stand with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and very soon they will be exposed. That is from Prince to you, Madam Adeto. We also have Olusoga Ajayi from Odonlai Korodu says, congrats to Professor Amupiton. I want to give the new INEC chairman, Professor Amupiton, the benefit of doubt that he won't compromise as an elder in. We have a call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ladies. Happy. Well, today is Friday. Happy Friday. Oh.
Happy Friday.
Wow.
Thank God it's Friday.
It's why we are not even rejoicing is because today looks like a Monday. The atmosphere is not serene. Oh, God help us. Good morning, Tom. Good morning. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
That girl sport it belongs to me. Don't receive. Don't worry, you understand. I saw you on YouTube yesterday. You guys are looking fly.
Thank you.
So I think the problem this morning we are tackling is it's like a repeated cycle. The problem with the Nigerian sector is that it lacks structure. And the question now is, must corruption be embedded in every facet of our lives?
Mm-hmm.
So must we continually be reactive rather than being proactive in this part of the world? How can people that have dedicated their life to serving, and then you look at the only reward you can give to them after they are gone or when they are even still alive, probably when they are old, you pauperize their family after dying in the line of duty. It's not really shocking anyway. Do you know that these tax requirements and prerequisites cut across all faces? Circle, you have it there. It exists. In the IDP camps, you have it there. It exists. This gross neglect that befalls families of ex-security operatives and their families is what make them cut corners when they are in active service. And then we give them a dog a bad name, all because we want to hang them. See, we don't give a dog a bad name because we want to hang it. Not that anybody is supporting corruption, but when you know that when you are gone, your family will likely face gross neglect. You see them trying to cut corners and making a living or eking out a living aside their line of duty for themselves while they are alive. And then we say the police is corrupt because we also aid and abet these vices. When would we be rid of corruption, bedeviling us in every ramifications in this country? The truth is, the number of people that die before they get the due remuneration due to them and pensions owed them is not statistically captured enough in this country. Someone was speaking about data. How many? Do we have any follow-through process? Do we have any backup log or any backup process at the end of the day? I beg now Friday be this, so I see them my baby girl mood. Make anybody know spoiler. Good morning.
Mr. Molly gives me joy, Jerry.
I love her so much. Okay, let me go. This message was congrats to Professor Amupiton. I want to give the new INEC chairman, Professor Amupiton, the benefit of doubt that he won't compromise as an elder in Christ Apostolic Church. He's said to be a very devoted Christian and a stern law teacher. I hope and pray he doesn't bring disgrace to the church and Nigeria at large. Olusoga Ajayi from Odunla Ikorodu. This one is from Mayor. He says, beautiful morning and happy weekend to you all in the studio. Same to you. Please, I want to beg the new INEC chairman to keep quiet for now and work. Because we have had enough promises from our past and present rulers, but nothing to show for it except deceit, lies, and propaganda all the ways. This is how late Buhari and Tinubu told the whole world that let the poor breathe. Not knowing that both of them have hidden agenda against the masses of Nigeria. If the master strategists can silence the INEC, judiciary, civil societies, that the GOs of churches, the MBA, the press, and to mention but a few, then how dare you open your mouth to promise what you cannot do when the man that appointed you is still in power? Please, Tinubu, release our brother Nnamdi Kanu for us, because many have done more harm and today they're going freely. Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped by APC government, which is against international standards. So APC government supposed to be standing trial now. Oh God, arise and trouble those who are troubling Nigerians. Mayor from Ikotun. Thank you so much for your message. Finally, we have this one from Additional Wasiu. Oh, hello, Additional. We haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah.
We haven't heard from you in a while. Thank you. Welcome back. Good morning to you in the studio. On INEC chairman, I hope he does the right thing. And for Mr. President and his advice to the INEC chairman, he has advised him rightly. And for Nnamdi Kanu, he has started again. This is what he knows how to do best, delay tactics, and it would work this time around. I hope his followers will advise him now. And for former President G.E. Oh, good morning. Hello, good morning. Evangelist Dixon, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I try to agree with what I say. What is it from experience? My sister, I've retired now. She's getting to 2 years. I've not been able to access my retirement benefit. By the time that's what you are saying. By the time you go, they kept on asking, bring this paper, bring this paper, bring this paper. I told them, I cannot remain on forever. One day you also will be like me, and what you made me to go through, you also are going to go through. My sister, my trust fund, they say trust fund, I'm not been able to raise my pension. What I'm saying to you. What causing you keep on asking that because of our wickedness, human, that's why we are in this nation. And that's almost the time I tell you, when we are accusing the government, when some of us did, I see that we are in the world and you don't have the fear of God. What is it in this life? You can sleep and not wake up. You wake up only to wicked your fellow human being. What are you going to do out of all these things we are doing? If we are in Nigeria and we have the fear of God, many of us, okay, today is Friday, must go full up. Not the church go full up. You know, we people. We go to Isaiah chapter 1, we come back to what we end. Because our assembly together as a church or mosque, abomination to why are the ones assembled? The same wicked people, corrupt Nigerians who are not willing to repent. Who say I will not hear their prayer? Before you come to me, learn to do good to your neighbor. Make your neighbor happy. Then when you come, you say before you pray, I know why you are after you come. They keep on praying, and while we are doing the right, and God is not going to hear our prayer. God has so much blessed this country, but we don't love ourselves, we don't love our country. I mean, for one Nigeria to grow, why can't you patronize made in Nigeria goods? If I can't go, so we get improved so that our Naira will rest. Please let us love one another. Something in this life. There's no absolutely nothing. Any day you sleep and wake up, thank God. And have it in your mind that go out there, do something that you make your neighbor. That's what I'm teaching my family. That's what I'm doing. And anyway, and I keep on doing, no matter what happens, I will not be corrupt. I refuse to be corrupt. I refuse to be corrupt because I know God is watching me. God bless you. God bless you. I dream with God. I want to people all can do the right thing. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Evangelist Dixon. We're so sorry. I mean, it's sad that you've not been able to access your retirement funds, and this is what we're talking about. Thank you for calling and sharing your, experience with us. We're hoping with you that you eventually get, your funds. This is sad because I mean, Evangelist Dixon is he's elderly, right? So how is the government expecting him to fend for himself? There are some people that they are fortunate enough to have their children taking care of them, but what about those that their children are still trying to even fend for themselves? How much more their parents? Some of them maybe they don't even have.
Even if you, sorry to cut you short, even if you have children who are taking care of you, you have worked for a number of years, and when you were working, you were actually contributing something for this time of your life. So when you get to this time of your life, why is accessing that, especially for government workers, especially for public sectors, why is accessing this money a big hurdle for one?
Right.
This paper, fill this one, do that. Kilo day, what's happen? And when you were telling me to contribute, or when you were removing this percentage of the money from my salary, it was not a big problem for you. In fact, if I don't do it, it will become as if I am owing the government something, or I am stealing from the government. And then they come after me for it. And now that I'm done working, to sit down and say, okay, let me access this money so that I can make my life. Your own money, your own. It will not become a problem. And then later you will hear that they are borrowing money from pension fund, doing XYZ, doing this one. And then when the people that actually need the pension come to collect it, there's no money.
Yeah.
Or they'll start telling you, before you know it, you start collecting 60,000. After 60,000, you start collecting 40. From 40, they'll go back to 30. Before you know, you're collecting 12,000 naira.
On top of your own money. Yeah, well said. Anyway, we can just go to the next headline, Rose. Which one of them do you want to take?
Yeah, let's look at the one from Swiss government, because not that one affect us well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so this is coming from This Day, and this one, by the way, it's 12 minutes after 8 right here on Women Radio, and this is the newspaper review on the Full Breakfast Show. So we're heading on to another government, but another headline, but please, I said another government before. We're heading on to another headline.
Are we not heading to another government?
Let's you can feel free to still drop your messages. Okay, so this is coming from This Day, and it says Swiss government says Nigerian women still facing significant barriers to leadership and governance. All of us can see it, all of us know about it. When you look at the Senate, you look at the House of Assembly, a House of Reps, you know that that's what's happening. You look at even from the local government to the Fed to the state government levels, you see all of it written everywhere. So I mean, it's not longer new, and that's why we are clamoring for the reserved seats bill, for women. That's why we are clamoring that we have more women there, and especially for us at Women Radio. The last elections, I know that we gave the platform to a lot of political female leaders who wanted to take up, or go into the elections. We gave them the platform to come on and tell us, about themselves and what they would do, especially for rural women. And that's why we have things like VOW that comes up every year, to also bridge the gap between the political class, female political class, and the rural community, so that, the trust can be gained or earned, and we'll be able to move forward. So the Swiss government has lamented that Nigerian women continue to face significant barriers to leadership and participation in governance. It said there are currently only 7 female ministers in Nigeria's federal cabinet of about 48%, adding that women remain significantly underrepresented in decision-making spaces, yet they comprise nearly half of Nigeria's population. The deputy ambassador of Switzerland to Nigeria, Mr. Siamak Rouhani, disclosed this on Thursday in Abuja at a roundtable meeting. That has to do with governance and combating gender-based violence. He said that the initiative spanning 3 years has been a testament to shared. Well, it just goes on and on, but the fact still remains that we as women still face a lot of barriers when it comes to leadership and governance. So my question to Adetun is, are we ever going to go through this? Are we going to get past this in this country? Are we going to get to a place where we'll see? Because right now we're doing all our best to see that, the reserve seat bill is being, assented to and everything, and we have that up and running for the next elections. But every day is here, is there, is here, is there. But hopefully this gets to be signed, more assented to. So Adetun, shall we go past this level? Shall by next year this time? Shall we go sit down and talk, say, Nigeria, we don't reach somewhere. We don't reach somewhere.
Well, I think the main thing is this, for us to move from where we are right now, there's need to change the narrative from the women themselves. And I say that because we've said it over and over again, women should come out to contest, women should vote women. On our own side, we have to be supportive of those women that are intending to come out, to represent us and give us a voice. Another thing is, I was actually talking about political ideology, and I mentioned the aspect that has to do with women. We've seen parties in the past elections who actually made it very reasonable enough for women to be a part of their party and even to contest, to move past some certain levels, unlike before where they were largely restricted. We've seen political parties who were strongly behind women, who came out en masse, to support other women, and even those women who vied under different political parties. So we are actually moving. We are not we are not there yet, but we are moving, and it's a continued process. Aside from the 35% affirmative action in the past, we now have the reserve seats. These are some of the progress that have been made. We might not get there as quickly as we want to, but it is a step in the right direction. And you will see it from all angles, the way women are coming out, even to support some of these moves. That shows you that we are getting there and we are ready. It now depends on the feedback we receive from the government. Most of these agitations or these protests are always geared towards the direction of the government, because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, the legislative arm has a part to play. The executive arm has a part to play. The judiciary they also have a part to play. And it's not a move that is standing on its own. There's need for synergy across boards and across all levels. You also find out that we still have some state governments or governors who have actually been supportive of inclusive governance. They've incorporated women in their cabinet at all levels. We have female, House of Reps speaker and all that. And so, yes, this is going to be a long way to go, but we have taken the steps, little steps here and there, and we're going to get there. You can't also overemphasize the fact that at the grassroots level, there's need for mobilization. There's need for continued community engagement. There's need for the media to play its role in ensuring that they highlight and give the right perception about women's role. We are not saying that some women have not been up to the task, and we are not saying there have been some women that have not defaulted, but we are saying you want women to support you, bring them on board. The political terrain cannot just be for men. Women should be allowed to come in. And when we are able to have that decision table, we see different things changing. The narrative is changing. Even the statistics that is being put out, especially as regards to Nigeria globally, and even in terms of Africa, we will begin to change the narrative. And if you look at it, I will also say that engaging other, international organizations to learn from them, especially as regards to best global practices, we will be able to receive support in implementing this, anything that has to do with gender equality initiative. The UN Women is doing quite a lot, and several other international agencies. We have some NGOs, we have some CSOs that are doing a lot advocating for this move. So we are moving gradually. Then you also look at it when it comes to politics in Nigeria. It's not small money. As somebody will say, it's not my mind. Why? Because you have to put in a lot. And it's been said that it seems the men have a lot to put down, whether it's been embezzled, whether it's their honest, savings and all that. The fact is that they bring more financially when it comes to political participation. And, having godfathers, godmothers, and raising funds for women who come out to be elected or who have interest in politics also goes a long way. We've seen where women in their rural communities have come out to support candidates, raising funds as little as 5,000, as little as 1,500, just because they want that woman to represent them at different levels. So we are moving gradually. It might be slow, it might not look as if it is, but you can see the move around all these policies and how women come out en masse at the grassroots, at the rural areas, at the grassroots or rural areas, even in the urban sectors. You see women both at the corporate level and even otherwise. So we are moving gradually. And the reason why it's taking this long is because of government policies. It's because of political ideologies of some political parties. You can't overemphasize that they also make a part of this for it to work, because these women come under different political parties, and if they don't get the needed support from their political parties, it might not be flexible enough for them to come out, even to say want to to vie under a political party or even to get women's support. So it's even important. Our electoral reforms is there. Our legislative reforms need to also come in and work with other stakeholders, as many as we can get. And then also, if you look at it, the anti-discriminating laws should be eliminated largely. We still have those political frameworks or policy frameworks that are not creating a supportive environment for women. When you look at all this across board, we need to make sure that the synergy between all the stakeholders, come to align at the table for the way forward, if we need to actually get enough support in getting women on decision table and even getting more women to support those that intend to go and make decisions on our behalf.
You know what's interesting for me from what you were saying? There was something that you had mentioned, Rose, during the conference. You had said that I think one of the speakers had talked about the power of grassroots women. And what I've been discovering is, you don't want to give them positions of power, but when you want to get into power, you need them.
Yeah.
You go to the grassroots women, you go to the market women, because they have so much power, and you go there to go and look for them to support you. It's so contradictory and it's eye-opening. And there's something that Emmanuel used to always say. I feel like this government has succeeded in keeping us poor educationally, that we actually don't know the power that we have, as citizens of this country, even as women. Because imagine that you have so much power to decide who should be in governance, but then when it now gets to actually being in governance, when it's your turn, to take your seats, they don't want to give you the seat. It's almost like you have to beg for the seat. I thought that was just an interesting link when you were speaking, Adeton. Okay, time is 23 minutes past 8 this morning. It's been an interesting conversation this morning with Adeton, who's back. Woo-hoo-hoo. But Adeton, in a minute or two, you can give us your final word before we go.
My final word will be that we need to begin to change the global statistics as regards to women participation, and it all centers on the fact that the government has a major role to play, whether you are a political party or you are involved in electoral reforms at the judiciary, legislative arm, executive arm. And even look at the executive arm, we have few women, at the decision table. I think it's very important that women should also be part of making the political development in Nigeria that we seek for. And if we are ready, just like other countries, countries. I think we can actually get there.
Absolutely, if we are ready. And again, just to reiterate, like we need to start realizing our power. We need to start educating ourselves on what is required of us to vote. I mean, it goes without saying that 2027 is around the corner. Actually, there's still, the talks on whether or not the election is going to happen in 2026, November 2026. But please educate yourself and know that your vote is your power. Your vote is how you determine how Nigeria goes forward come 2027. Your vote is what determines whether or not this country, your rights are your rights for real, or if you're still going to be struggling. There's been conflicting thoughts, there's been conflicting opinions on what the sitting administration is doing, but you yourself go do the research by yourself and see if so far so good it has been favorable for you. If you feel like it's a no, well, your vote is your power. If you feel like it's a yes, your vote is still your power. My name is Olufumije. With that being said, we've come to the end of the Full Breakfast Show, the newspaper review. Catch you same time on Monday. Or enjoy your weekend, though. If you have one bed, go and dance. If you sleep that you want to sleep this weekend, sleep.
You deserve it.
You deserve it, yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Adeto, for being here. We'll definitely meet up next week, Friday, by God's grace. Hopefully we'll have a great weekend. Yeah. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Do want to stay tuned to Women Radio. At 9, the news will be here. And then at 9:05, Highlands, the last episode for the week. Yeah. Have a great day ahead and stay with us. Good morning.